Let's talk about housing. Why does housing in Ontario feel like it's rigged? And what can we do about it? It just seems like we have been dealing with this topic for most of our lives. Living here has always been expensive. Whether you're trying to buy your first home or rent something reasonable, or just to stay in the neighborhood you grew up in, it just feels like the system is working against you. And you're not imagining this. A lot of it is really rigged. The problem isn't just supply chain, it's the game itself. Politicians like to say that we just need to build more homes. Sure, that's a part of it, but that's not the whole plan. We're in trouble. And the truth is, homes aren't being built where people actually want them to be built, where they need to live. The bulk of the new homes are either ultra luxury condos or faraway subdivisions that require cars, long commutes, and expensive infrastructure for you to get by. The developers sit on approved land because they know prices will keep rising. In Ontario alone, over 300,000 housing units have been approved, but they're just not built yet. That's not a supply issue. It's just a delay that benefits spectators. Zoning laws are locking people out. In many cities, up to 70% of residential land is zoned for single family homes only. That means that you can't legally build duplexes, triplexes, or even small apartment buildings, even in neighborhoods with schools, transit, and services, where you would think you could really benefit. So, how did it get so broken? What happened? This didn't happen overnight. It's the result of a lot of small decisions that added up. Going as far back, the municipal zoning designed in the 1950s, obviously that hasn't kept up with modern life. Governments have offloaded affordable housing responsibility to the private sector, and the private sector's job is to churn a profit. So it doesn't solve homelessness, for example. We reward people who already own homes with tax exemptions, incentives, and policies where renters and first-time homebuyers carry the burden. For example, if you bought a home in the 1900s, the late 1900s, 1995, it likely cost you 3 to 4 times your income. Today, that's up to 14 times the average income. In places like Toronto, Peel, even outside of the GTA, an average home price is still over 700,000. That's not sustainable, and it's just not fair. So what can we actually do about it? Here's our plan. It's a centrist plan. Unblocking the zoning bottleneck. That's the first step. We'll legalize gentle density like triplexes, layaway homes, and low-rise buildings in every neighborhood. We'll speed up approvals without cutting environmental corners. We'll give incentives to cities that say yes to growth, not just delay. I think this is a good place to start. Alternatively, tax the speculation, not the shelter. Impose stronger vacancy taxes on empty units and land banks. We'll close some loopholes for house flipping and numbered corporations hoarding units. I think that's reasonable. We'll make homes for living in, not just for trading. I think we need places to live today. A lot of people just don't have appropriate shelter. Another aspect is that we'll build public and nonprofit housing again. Let's make a commitment to at least 50,000 units of mixed income housing over 5 years, owned and operated by municipalities, co-ops, and land trusts, using unused public land near transit and services instead of selling it off to the highest bidder. These are just common sense things that we can implement right away with very little friction. So let's take it further. Let's talk about protecting tenants without driving out the landlords. If the landlords are discouraged, it's going to affect housing. And if the tenants are unprotected, it's going to affect housing. So let's support for long-term renters, and let's support for their rights. Let's include fair eviction rules and rent transparency. At the same time, give small landlords clear rules and financial certainty to maintain housing quality. That's only fair that we play both sides. Stop blaming newcomers. This is something we must stop doing. Immigration isn't the problem. Poor planning is. Let's align immigration targets with housing and job strategies. So we're growing together, not putting people in competition for shelter. I mean, what a ridiculous idea. We need to provide housing for people who are new here and provide opportunities. And if this is not the case, then we should be more responsible with inviting people to our country. Let's review this and go over some final thoughts. Look, it isn't about left versus right here. It's about what works. If you're a homeowner, this is about protecting the value of your home without choking out your kid's future. If you're renting, and it's about fairness and predictability. As a renter, you need to know what your bills are going to be. If you're a builder or a developer, this is about getting clarity and consistency, not getting into political gridlocks and red tape. The housing crisis isn't unsolvable. It's just been made that way by leaders who talk around it instead of fixing it. We believe housing should be built for people, not just profit. And let's make Ontario a place where homes are for living, not just for investing, not just for flipping, and most certainly not for speculating. Let's get to work. This is a big issue. We have to come together, put the right pressures in place to solve it. Until next time, this is Mansour from the Ontario Centrist Party, wishing you a great evening, and hopefully we can think about this more. Have a good night.